Hello everyone, this is Rayron. I'm going to try a different video today. Kind of want to do something a little bit different. And I kind of just want to do a running session here on this layout. I'm kind of calling it the Mythical Mythical Lands, I think is what I was calling it, but I can't quite remember. And let me get this light out of the way here. There we go. I'm still trying to test this new equipment. And I apologize if it is echoey in here. I don't have a lot of things to really mitigate that echo-ness a little bit. But I want to do a running session. So right now, this 4 modular layout is set for DC. And I've got the Crescent Limited on the layout right now. So I'm going to go ahead and run that for a little bit. Alrighty. Cool. Let me get this into focus. Yeah, it's a little bit dark and I do apologize, but we'll make do. So currently the engine that's running right now is a Rivarossi 462 Crescent Limited engine. Along with it, you've got the Crescent Limited Southern Passenger set from, I can't remember the make. I think it's IHC if I remember correctly. So I'll be running that engine around for a little bit. So in my last video with the Crescent Limited, it was kind of jerky a little bit. And we actually tried to do something a little bit different. We tried to clean the track with what's called mineral spirits or mineral essence or something like that. I can't remember the chemical name top of my head, but we used that liquid to clean up the track a little bit, and it's working really well. We also put this deoxy paste onto the track. Put a little bit too much onto it because the engine was slipping a little bit. So highly recommend if you use that any deoxy grease, just make sure you put it on one section, so that way the engine picks up that grease and actually spreads it across the layout. Now it has been a while since I've shown you guys kind of this layout as a whole. So kind of at the city, you kind of got Godzilla ruling that city a little bit. Oops. As I tap the camera here. I'll show you guys the other side when the engine comes around. And then we got good old mascot Ice Dragon there, protecting this side. So we kind of have a dual monsters kind of facing each other. I love that set. Normally I'm a Union Pacific and Union Pacific family tree collector, but recently we had this individual donate his entire collection, and when I saw this engine I had to pick it up. So I ended up cleaning the wheels, cleaning the motor, and it's running really well. I was super happy. So as that engine is doing its rounds, some things I kind of want to point out. So here's the big boy, 4002. This is a Rivarossi big boy. My father and I bought it, it was back in the 90s. So definitely an old engine. Just recently I picked up Scale Train's 2 water tanks from the excursion from 2014. So I'm really happy about getting these guys. They recently did another re-release run of these particular water tanks. So when I saw that, it's like, yep, I'm gonna pick that up. And they're definitely heavily detailed. I'll probably do a more in-depth video on these guys a little bit later. In the back, we've got some coal cars. Over here, we've got 2 gas turbine engines. We got the Series 1 gas turbine, and then behind it, we got the veranda. We got some box cars. We got a Bowser Western Pacific shunter diesel. So over here, this is a Atherin Genesis 844 Northern FEF engine. I wish I could run this one on this layout, but it derails, unfortunately. Some of the turns on here are 15-degree turn radiuses, which it doesn't like it. It doesn't like it at all. I'm hoping when I get a little bit more subscribers on YouTube, I can do some live streams versus doing these videos, but right now, we'll just keep it to the video format. Okay. Move you guys over here. Watch the Crescent Limited come around. So yeah, this particular modular layout, it's a little bit on the high side when it comes to height. I think I have it set for 52 inches, which I think is good standing height, but not sitting height. And as I've been discovering, I think 40 to 42 inches is better. So one thing I'm going to do for you guys, I know I said that the engine derails, but I kind of want to put it on and show it off a little bit. We're going to put the FEF on just to show it running just for a little bit. So right now I'm just going to put it on the track and just run it a little bit back and forth. Okay. Okay, so here she is. This is the 844 Union Pacific FEF, the Northerner, or Northern, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, this engine is run by the Union Pacific and by the Steam team, and is currently in Cheyenne, Wyoming, is where it's currently stationed. Oops, so I'm trying to get things focused. There was I can't remember how many of these were built. I know that I think there's 3 total remaining. I could be wrong about that, but the 844, I know it's like an 838 in Ogden, Utah. That's the one I'm familiar with. And I think there's another one in Nebraska floating around there somewhere. But this engine was designed for speed, but by the time it came around, diesels have kind of taken over. So I'll back it up a little bit. I don't think it derails. This is a Bachmann Easy Track system, which this engine can handle. It just can't handle the tighter turns on the rest of this layout. And I can already hear it derailed. It's a little too tight. All right, let me turn this and I'm gonna go fix that derailment real quick. Give you a shot of the big boy again. So it was the front trucks that came off. Okay. That is fixed. Let me swing you guys back over here. All right, and we will bring her around. Oop, and of course she derails again. Yeah, these turns are just too tight for it, unfortunately. There we go. But yeah, there is the 844. Okay, now I'm going to put kind of a surprise next train on here. Alright, put these on and then we're going to start building a new train here. So bear with me. You can probably see what type of train it is. So we're going to start building this coal train. So again, any type of freight car that I grab is typically going to be in the Union Pacific family tree. I do have one oddball out, which is a Utah copper car, but that is kind of home for me. So when I saw this particular car for sale, that's this one right here, I grabbed it. Because that's definitely home for me, and I'm probably seen these coal cars before. Alright. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, we are on the rails. Let me put this guy on. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this engine on. I'm gonna save it as a surprise. I'll try to keep it a surprise here. I want to rotate it this way a little bit. Save the suspense. Hello, Kiko. You could probably guess which engine just by the sound. But I want to see if your guesses are right. Okay. I think we're all set, and she is purring right along. She has a lot of grease left over, but we'll go from there. So here she is. This is the 4002 Big Boy. Now she is struggling a little bit just because she still has that grease I was talking about, the deoxy grease. So she does have a lot of wheel slip, but I think after we get her running a little bit, that grease will wear off the wheels. And she'll be good as new. And she is going a little bit fast, just because I kind of want to get her around the turns a little bit, because there is a lot of weight that it's kind of dragging a little bit. Most of those cars have plastic wheels, which is not the greatest. Obviously you want the metal wheels because it helps with the movements and everything, and you want to lubricate the wheels and everything. I just haven't had a chance to do all those cars. There she goes again. Yep, I know, wheel slip. Another thing I got to do too is for those particular water tanks, I got to turn off the lights on it. If I remember correctly, there's actually a small little chip in there that I got to go into the settings, like into DCC settings, and turn the CV values off on it, or just a light off. Because it looks kind of weird having those lights on. Alright, so I want to slow her down just a little bit. Alright, so some of these cars we've got Chicago Northwestern. A good chunk of those are Chicago Northwestern. There's Denver Rio Grande. So this particular car is actually the anniversary car of the National Model Railroad Association's anniversary in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is pretty cool. More Chicago Northwestern. I think it had Southern Pacific as well. Obviously the Utah Copper I was mentioning earlier, and Chicago Northwestern Caboose. So kind of a little bit of a homage to all of the railroads that Union Pacific bought. Alright, we're going to have the big boy do one more lap, and then I'm going to add another engine, and I think we'll call it a video there with this first edition of the running session. Wheel slipping a little bit. Come on, you can do it. All right. Do a slow pass here. All right, we'll take the big boy off. We'll add one more engine. We'll go from there. All right, and for our last engine for this running session, make sure I don't go too fast. It's the Veranda. So I've been noticing as I've been collecting over the years, I'm big into the transition era when it comes to model railroading. So that's between 40s and 50s roughly, when steam was getting phased out and diesels were on the rise. And I just love Union Pacific. It's what I grew up with, and I admired the fact that they pay a lot of respect to their heritage. And the fact that they had the 844 still going in service. At the time they had the Challenger 3985, and then just recently with the big boy 4014. It has definitely been my favorite railroad company to really model after. And so the engine that you're seeing here is basically a gas turbine. This is the second in the series. The first wave didn't have the indented walkways that you see on the Veranda. And I'll stop it here so I can show you guys. Alright, so this, and this is also Athearn Genesis model. So for the Veranda series, the catwalk is actually on the inside here, which is pretty cool. The first series didn't have that. So this is the first one right here. The first generation. And then the third generation was the big blow gas turbines, which basically had 3 sections, and you've probably seen that in my previous video. I'm a big fan of the gas turbines. They're just so cool. Alright, as we start winding down this running session, I want to take a minute to talk about kind of the future of my content. So this particular channel is going to be my main channel. It's going to be mostly focused on model railroading, but I am starting up a second channel called Ray Run After Dark, and that's where I'm going to be talking about everything else. this content, or this channel is going to be mostly focused on family-oriented content, whereas my After Dark channel, as exactly as it sounds, is going to be basically my adult-focused content, and I'm going to be talking about a whole bunch of wide variety of things, from pop culture to I'll be doing some showcase items that's not model railroading related, and other things, just to kind of diversify what I really want to do. But definitely gives me a nice leeway and breath of fresh air when it comes to just general content creation as a whole. But definitely, it's mostly going to be my favorite hobby when it comes to this particular channel. Alright, so we'll follow the veranda one more time here. Alright, and there we go. Cool, guys. Thank you so much for watching this first running session here on the main channel. You can look at my links on the top right hand corner, and you'll find the Ray Run After Dark along with my Twitter, and I think my Instagram is going to be up there too. I'm going to start trying to get into a little bit more photography when it comes to this hobby. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you like what you see here. With that, I'll see you in the next video.